Food preservation is the process of treating and handling food to stop or considerably slow down spoilage caused by microorganisms, enzymes, and other factors. This practice is fundamental in the science of preserving flavorful meals for years, as it ensures that the taste, nutritional value, and safety of the food remain intact over long periods. Essentially, without effective preservation methods, the dream of enjoying a flavorful meal long after its preparation would be nearly impossible. Preserving food is significant because it extends the shelf life of meals, reduces food waste, and provides a steady food supply regardless of seasonal changes or geographical limitations. For instance, freezing is a well-known method of food preservation that locks in flavors and nutrients by halting bacterial growth through low temperatures. Foods like fruits, vegetables, and meats can retain their taste and texture when frozen correctly, making freezing an invaluable tool for long-term meal storage. Another example is canning, which involves sealing food in airtight containers and heating them to kill microorganisms. This method is particularly popular for preserving soups, stews, and sauces, allowing consumers to enjoy home-cooked flavors months or even years after cooking. Experts and culinary enthusiasts alike often praise food preservation for its role in making diverse cuisines accessible year-round, regardless of climate or harvest cycles. This accessibility not only enriches diets, but also supports the food industry and economies by minimizing waste and optimizing supply chains. However, food preservation is not without its challenges and controversies. Critics argue that some methods, such as the use of chemical preservatives, may pose health risks or alter the natural taste of food. Moreover, the energy requirements for certain preservation techniques, like freezing and refrigeration, raise environmental concerns due to their carbon footprint. There are also debates surrounding the nutritional value of preserved foods, with some suggesting that the process can degrade vitamins and minerals. Despite these challenges, food preservation is undeniably interwoven with other aspects of meal storage and culinary arts. It influences packaging innovations, dictates transportation and distribution strategies, and even inspires culinary creativity by allowing chefs to experiment with and reinvent preserved ingredients. As technology advances, new preservation methods continue to emerge, promising even more efficient ways to maintain flavor and freshness over the long haul. Ultimately, food preservation is a cornerstone of culinary science, bridging the gap between the past and the present as we savor meals crafted to stand the test of time. The concept of historical techniques in food preservation revolves around the age-old methods that our ancestors employed to extend the shelf life of food. These methods were developed out of necessity as early humans faced the challenge of sustaining food supplies through harsh climates and long winters. Such techniques include drying, salting, smoking, fermenting, and pickling, which are not only about preserving food but also about enhancing its flavor over time. Understanding historical food preservation techniques is significant because it forms the foundation of modern food preservation methods. These time-honored practices have laid the groundwork for understanding the science behind what makes food last, and they continue to influence contemporary techniques aimed at preserving meals for extended periods without compromising their taste. A classic example of historical food preservation is smoking, which was originally used by the indigenous peoples in North America. They utilized smoke's ability to dehydrate and infuse food with preservative chemicals, thus keeping it edible for months. Similarly, fermentation played a crucial role in preserving foods worldwide, such as sauerkraut in Germany or kimchi in Korea. Fermentation not only increases the longevity of food but also boosts its nutritional profile and flavor. Historical food preservation methods are often lauded for their simplicity and sustainability. Many enthusiasts and historians argue that these techniques point to a more sustainable future, emphasizing local production and reduced reliance on synthetic preservatives and refrigeration. However, these methods are not without their challenges. Relying on traditional preservation techniques can be labor-intensive and require specific climate conditions, such as the precise humidity needed for fermenting. Skeptics may argue that these methods cannot sustain the demands of modern societies, where food safety regulations and large-scale distribution require more uniform and reliable preservation technologies. There's also the controversy of balancing tradition with innovation, as purists might view modern adaptations as a loss of authenticity. In the broader context of preserving flavorful meals for years, historical techniques highlight the ingenuity of early food preservation efforts and inspire ongoing research into natural and effective preservation methods. They connect with other aspects of food science by offering insights into how flavor can be maintained or enhanced over time. Furthermore, These techniques underscore the relationship between cultural heritage and culinary practices, influencing how we perceive and approach food preservation today. The concept of scientific principles of flavor retention is central to understanding how we can preserve the taste of meals over extended periods. At its core, flavor retention involves preserving the aromatic compounds and essential oils in food that contribute to its taste and aroma, preventing them from degrading over time. This is achieved through various preservation methods grounded in scientific techniques that maintain or slow the breakdown of these critical compounds. The significance of flavor retention in the context of preserving meals lies in its capacity to maintain the sensory qualities of food, which include taste, aroma, and mouthfeel. These qualities are essential not only for culinary enjoyment but also for consumer satisfaction and nutritional value. As we explore ways to keep meals flavorful for years, understanding and applying these scientific principles becomes crucial. One clear example of flavor retention in action is the freeze-drying process. Freeze-drying removes moisture from food while preserving its flavor, color, and nutritional content, making it a popular method for preserving fruits, vegetables, and even complete meals. Another example is the use of vacuum sealing combined with cold storage. By removing air and sealing food in an airtight environment, oxidation and microbial growth are minimized, which in turn helps in retaining flavor compounds over an extended period. Experts in food science often emphasize the importance of flavor retention for both consumer satisfaction and the extension of shelf life. There is a general consensus that effectively preserving flavor can result in better tasting, more appealing foods over time. However, challenges do exist. One major hurdle is the high cost and technological demands of some advanced preservation methods, which can limit their accessibility and practicality for widespread use. Additionally, there's the potential controversy over the safety and nutritional effects of chemical preservatives sometimes used to retain flavor. These principles of flavor retention are intimately connected with other aspects of meal preservation, such as maintaining nutritional value and preventing spoilage. Effective flavor retention also influences the development of new preservation technologies, spurring innovation as researchers seek methods that not only lock in flavor, but also meet standards of safety, nutrition, and cost-effectiveness. By bridging scientific advancements and culinary traditions, methods of flavor retention ensure that future generations can savor meals that are as delicious as the day they were prepared, addressing a fundamental expectation of quality and enjoyment in preserved foods. Modern technologies for long-term flavor preservation refer to the advanced techniques and innovations designed to maintain the taste, aroma, and overall quality of food over extended periods. These technologies are crucial in the field of food science and culinary arts, as they ensure that meals remain as delectable months or even years after they are prepared. The significance of these innovations lies in their ability to provide consumers with flavorful and nutritious meals without the need for frequent preparation, thus reducing food waste and ensuring food security. One prime example of such technology is freeze-drying. This process involves freezing the food and then reducing the surrounding pressure to allow the frozen water in the food to sublimate directly from a solid to a gas. Freeze-drying is widely used because it preserves the food's structure and nutrient content while maintaining its original flavor. Another example is high-pressure processing, HPP, which uses intense pressure to eliminate bacteria and extend shelf life without the use of high temperatures, thus preserving flavor. These technologies have received support from food scientists and industry experts for their ability to revolutionize food storage and consumption. Many advocates highlight how these methods can maintain flavor integrity without the use of additives or preservatives, thus offering a more natural taste experience. Moreover, these technologies align with the increasing consumer demand for clean label products and sustainable food production, aligning them with broader environmental and health goals. However, there are challenges and controversies associated with these technologies. The cost of implementing such advanced processes can be high, making it less accessible for small producers or businesses in developing regions. Additionally, some consumers remain skeptical about the processed nature of such foods, preferring fresh alternatives whenever possible. There's also a debate on the energy consumption involved in processes like freeze-drying, which may contradict some sustainability goals. In the larger context of preserving flavorful meals, these technologies significantly impact stockpiling, disaster readiness, and even space exploration, where long-term food preservation is essential. They influence other aspects such as packaging, where innovations must also ensure the preservation of flavors during transport. The integration and continuing development of these technologies demonstrate a forward trajectory in the culinary and food preservation field, striving to balance convenience, flavor, and sustainability to meet future demands.